watched the service. Saw years ago a study by Facebook, and Thanksgiving in this season was where the most positive language of the whole year is used, and not a surprise, right? And it's sort of like I think about the famous saying by the Dalai Lama: sometimes a smile brings joy, sometimes joy brings a smile. And it's the same with gratitude and joy in our life. Sometimes gratitude brings joy, sometimes joy brings gratitude. And I think it all kind of goes together. So thank you for joining me this week. And what we're going to do today is we're going to start out just with a little bit of gratitude around our souls. And it starts out with this, what is the soul? Because there's so much to be grateful for here, that we all have one. Everyone has a soul. There is this ineffable part. And what is that? So I'm going to read for you here. This is out of the book Secrets of Heaven, 2973. The human soul lies at a person's center, or in a person's inmost core. The body surrounds it on the outside, as is recognized. The body envelops and clothes the soul or the spirit. In people devoted to heavenly and spiritual kinds of love, goodness flows in from the Lord through their soul into their body and fills their body with light. So a number of thoughts. I mean, there's so many beautiful things we could say about the soul. The soul is sort of this ineffable part way at our core, and it's a pure gift. And the beautiful part from a Christian New Church perspective is that if, it goes way back to Genesis, that we are made in God's image and likeness. Like that part deeply within, that is God within us. Very much, again, you see some echoes of the Quaker tradition there. That is God within us, that deep, deep, deep part. And that part, that soul, what is it? Well, it's really, you can look at it a number of ways. One way to look at it is this anchor and this conduit. It's an anchor because it anchors us to heaven. Like it connects us to heaven. It connects us with the better angels of our nature, quite literally. It connects. And not only does it anchor, but then it's a conduit. So notice what it said there. It said it's a conduit, and our job is to get that love from God, that just allow ourselves to be open, allow that love to flow through out there into our lives. And that's kind of the whole point of why we're here, is to learn how to do that, how to learn to take our inmost and live it in the outermost, and so that there's this integrity between what's inside and what's outside. I think about it this way. I have a dear friend, him and his wife had an amazing marriage. And he once told me, my wife is so beautiful, and it doesn't matter how old she gets because she's beautiful inside and out. And I sort of feel the same about my wife, and that idea of that inside outness of it all, that keeps on moving through. And that's a beautiful thing. And when we understand that conduit, there's so much to be grateful for with life, because it just puts us in this different place. Like if you ever asked yourself, why is it that some music makes you cry? Why is that? Why is it that some moments just inevitably will bring tears? Why is it that walking in nature, if we're open to it, can be so incredibly moving? Well, that's because we have a soul. And we can be grateful for that gift, because that gift also gives us this gift of resonance. And what that resonance is, it's where we see things, again, inmost to outermost. We see things on the outermost, and somehow they co-respond to something that's deep within our heart. And all of a sudden we find ourselves moved, like strangely moved. Hearts, use the Methodist tradition, hearts strangely warmed. And boy, do we sense that, like all of a sudden, like, woo. And it's interesting, over the years with New Church Live, like we've used a lot of videos in the past, just little short video clips, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. It's amazing how many times those have brought people to tears. Well, why? Because of that inmost. And obviously I do a bunch of weddings and memorial services and baptisms. And why do people cry at those things? Well, there's sometimes from loss, sometimes from joy over a new beginning. But regardless, there's something that resonates with our soul very, very deeply. And that's such a miracle. And the beautiful part is, friends, is some people fall asleep to that. Granted, some people are not aware of that. Granted, some people have it so coated over with hurt, it's hard to get to it. My experience is the vast majority of people, it really is present. And it doesn't take much to find it. And it doesn't take much to connect one person to another over it. And boy, I see that all the time in my line of work. I imagine many of you see that in your line of work too. So today, as we start, this week of gratitude, let's just be grateful that we have a soul, and let's just be grateful we have that part. Oops, that has that deep resonance, and let's just be grateful that other people have it too, and that's this beautiful part of the human experience that we can share one with another, this communion of souls, this communion of saints. I mean, it really is a real thing. And it's a gift, friends. It's not something that we sort of hold up and like, I mean, this beautiful part, if we all have a soul, there's no hierarchy there. It's not that one soul's higher than another. No, they're all souls. They're all connected into heaven. And each one is a unique gift. And you know, let's have a week where we just celebrate that. We see it in others. We humbly acknowledge it in ourselves, and we just see it. That's our note to play. That's our role to have. That's our gift to offer to the world while we are still on this planet. So I hope that makes sense, dear friends. And what we're going to do now is we're going to shift gears. As we do, we're going to come in for a gentle landing. We're going to do a little prayer bell, a little meditation from the Old Testament, a little prayer, a little blessing, and then we'll say hi to anyone who cares to leave a comment on Facebook. And again, just a reminder, a lot of you leave comments sometimes weeks later, and they're fun to see. So please don't hold back ever if you're watching this weeks down the road and you want to say a little something. Always great to hear from people. So with that, dear friends, let's get a little breath and listen to the prayer bell. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that. Be still and know. Be still and. Be still. Be. Our Father, who art in the heavens, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so upon the earth. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you, bring you peace, and bring you home. Amen. All right, dear friends, let's give a little cheery hello to anyone who is able to join us today. And again, wonderful to hear your comments, and I hope all of you are having a great time getting ready for that beautiful season we have right ahead of us. Gignone, yeah, that's so good. I'm so grateful to God for his continuous redemption and renewal of my soul. That's a great line, Gignone. And I love the idea, right? It's all about this renewal. Like, renewal is so constant and so present, and it's just part of life, and it's the seasonality of it. Just beautiful stuff. Thank you for sharing that. And Marcus, as always, good morning to you, buddy. I hope you're doing very, very well. Let's flip on over to here and take a look over onto here. There we go. All right, Sharon, happy Thanksgiving, and happy Thanksgiving to you too, my friend. Wait a minute, I think we did that a little wrong. Sorry, just let me double check something there. I think I flipped right back to something. So Sharon, nice, thank you for leaving a comment. And all right, let's see if this one comes up. All right, we're all good. All right, friends. Well, listen, God bless all of you. Have a wonderful day, and we will see you again